Welcome to Good Morning Akron. I'm Sarah White, your host, here with Mr. Dan Mosher.
You know, I know you have a great lineup today.
So fun.
What an adventure it is to be in a 110-year-old rubber factory building. For those of you who don't know, we are broadcasting from the old B.F. Goodrich plant here in downtown Akron, which is now known as Canal Place.
Yes.
Here in Building 4.
Very cool and very,
Cool as in cold.
Cool as in cold.
Because sometimes the heat doesn't work, so sometimes it's cold. And of course in July, it's 100 degrees.
100 degrees. And it is a cool looking building, but because it's so old, it has issues.
Now in this complex, to give you a quick history lesson, the B.F. Goodrich Company had 27 buildings here, millions and millions of square feet, 60,000 workers.
27 buildings here. That's
and now
amazing.
there are 10 left.
Okay.
And this is one of them. Some of them have been restored, like the 388 building that the Beacon Journal is in was one of, building 10. And let's say they restored that in 1995 when Advanced Elastomer Systems came into Akron, and that was their headquarters, and they spent millions. So that building is beautiful. The Bounce Innovation Hub.
So beautiful.
That building, it belongs to the city of Akron, and of course the Bounce Innovation Hub is incredible. And they actually have a working freight elevator.
They do. Theirs works regularly?
Regularly. So
ours works sometimes.
We have great adventures when our guests come up, your guests come up to be on the program.
Yes.
And we have to sometimes go to the backup elevator. But the spirit of operating Akron's television station in a 100-year-old building that used to belong to the B.F. Goodrich Company is fun.
It is fun, and we made it happen. I was determined. I had 5 guests, and I was like, we are not canceling these people.
That's
they are going to get up here, and we are going to have great guests.
So, of course, the building management hears it from me, and I try to stay in a good mood. I try to keep a smile no matter what's happening. I try to just keep it fun.
Yes.
And so I text and I say, hey, we got to do something about our elevator and all of that. And he says, well, it's because it's cold out. Now, of course, many of us in these, 20-degree days, how have you been surviving in 20 degrees, a couple of days of 20 degrees? The kids going nuts? Everybody got cabin fever?
I literally thought I was dying when I got gas this morning before I came here. My hands were so cold, I didn't have gloves, and I was pumping my gas, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so cold. So, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Akron, what are we doing to survive now, 20 degrees or less for a couple of days in a row? Is that worse than in July when it's 95 for 6 or 8 or 10 days?
No.
Which is worse?
I think it's worse to be 95, and especially if we're up here trying to film any guests and they're like sweating down their face. I'd rather have the guests be cold.
Sure. Akron is looking pretty good these days, and our hearts go out to the rest of the country, and of course around the world. You watch the news; things are terrible,
wildfires
and everybody in Florida that has to deal with hurricane season. And our hearts certainly go out to anybody that lost their home. So we don't make this comment about how Akron's looking pretty good, thinking about how great we are and how wonderful it is here, in comparison to people going through terrible things. But a lot of people moving back to Northeast Ohio.
Yes.
Akron's looking pretty good.
It's looking good. Did you actually know, I think I mentioned this on a different week, that U-Haul did this survey, and we went way up. There are more people moving to Akron, to Ohio, than leaving. The U-Hauls are going in but not coming out. So they did a survey. I think we're like number 10 on the list of the 50 states. So.
And it could be, too, there's a generational thing where all of the baby boomers 25 years ago went down to Florida, and now they've reached the age where they want to be, if they're in their
families.
Closer to families. I mean, if you can't, if you're at a point in life where you just family is everything.
Right, exactly.
When they moved to Florida, I'm sure family was everything anyway.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. I think part of it is we have lower cost of living than some of these other places. They're saying a lot of people leaving California, obviously for different reasons, but a lot of it cost of living, even before all the wildfires and whatnot. So.
First thing they should do when they move back to Akron is subscribe to WAOH on YouTube.
They should do that.
That's right. So a lot of fun. We're glad to be in Akron. We're glad to be in this 110-year-old building, even with its quirks and problems.
Exactly.
It's a lot of fun here.
Lots of good things happening this weekend. It is MLK weekend, so lots of things happening. You can go, I always look on the Downtown Akron Partnership website and check out all that's going on all over Akron, so lots of good things.
There's an inauguration on Monday,
there
on
is.
Martin Luther King Jr. Day,
Yes.
and there's an Ohio State game.
There's all kinds
some
of stuff.
sort of,
Some kind of game, some kind of major
championship
game happening.
OH, there we go. Go Bucks.
They were doing that at the Cavs game the other night. I went on my birthday this last week. I went to the Cavs game. My daughter actually got to dance at the halftime, which was awesome. And they did the OHIO, and they played a clip from the previous game on the scoreboard.
Let's just set it right now. How many OHIOs do we need in one setting? I think the limit is 3. So, you get them there. They're in the shoe. I've been to the game. You've been to the horseshoe a bunch of times. Watch the game, and this can go on and on. In the tunnel, walking through the buildings to get into the game, and people just one person OHIO, and this could go on
forever.
Forever. I think 3 is a good. Perfect.
3 is a good number.
3 is the perfect number.
That was probably around how many they did up at the Cavs.
See, that's the right number.
Had it.
We all got it. So we're all in sync, because then there's that one person that goes OH. Just sucks all the wind out of the sails. It just doesn't work.
All right.
We've had some fun.
Lots of fun things, lots of great guests coming up, so make sure you stay tuned. If you have a guest that you want to bring on the show, or if you want to let us know about somebody in the community that we should have on, you can email us at producer@waoh.tv. Thanks, everyone.
OH!
IO!